Lord.
Jesus.
Okay.
That just cute.
It's Leo Gilling coming to you live from, no, start over. I'm not live. Start over.
Yeah, so where you going? I'm just going to cut it. Go ahead.
Okay, Leo Gilling coming to you from a Moment to Remember over here in Sunrise, 7768 Northwest 44th Street. And today on the show, I have my what you call that again? You don't know?
Presenter.
Co-presenter, Dr. Sue. She also goes by Dr. Davis, and she also goes by Simply Susan. Good day, Susan.
Hi, Leo. How are you doing?
You're supposed to shake my hand and shake it nice.
What's going on?
You look nervous, Dr. Sue. Right?
No, not at all.
We have, we're going to have a whole bunch of people looking at you. You're
All
not nervous,
right.
You're good?
Not
Because you
at all.
perform in front of people every day. What's up? Why you look so flustered? You okay?
People don't know this dynamic, right? Okay.
So I have never had the chance of interviewing Dr. Sue one-on-one. She always served right next to me on the Saturday morning fix, and we never really got a chance to know who Dr. Sue is. But today you're going to know about Dr. Sue. And so let's start from the bottom. Dr. Sue.
Whoa.
From the bottom.
All right.
Which parish you come from? Because
No, that is
don't
not
answer
the
that.
bottom.
Now answer the question yet. We're not done.
Okay.
Come here, you come from St. Mary, St. Anne's, St. James, Westmoreland. Which parish you really
All
come
except St. Mary. Thank you.
from? Where were you born?
I was born in London, England. Thank you very much.
Oh, London you born?
Yes, and that's why I can claim any parish I want.
Oh, okay. And then, so which parish did you grow up?
Okay, I spent my impressionable years in Manchester, Clarendon. So I went to the Knox College, people. The real KC.
I'll accept the Knox over the other one then. Yes.
And then Mommy had transferred to Morant Bay. So I went to Morant Bay High School too for a year. So I went from the central right over to the east.
To the east. Which part? So you're living
In Morant.
In Morant Bay?
St. Thomas, yes.
Oh.
Church corner.
Yeah, today is,
National Heroes Day.
and you know who's on top, right?
Paul Bogle, yes.
That's right.
I have many stories around that statue.
Oh, is that
Yes,
right?
right in front of the courthouse.
I don't think we'll have enough time for that today.
No, that's another interview.
So when you grew up in Manchester, were you doing girly things or were you doing boy things? What were you doing?
It was neutral, I think. I was always considered one of the boys,
Oh, yeah.
in a sense. Because I never, for some reason, I was never endeared to girls,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And with my brothers, I have an older brother and a brother who is a year younger than myself. So I was always with them and their friends. And even when I transitioned to high school, all my friends were boys. For some reason, I never kept girlfriends.
So at what age did you go to Morant Bay?
I went to Morant Bay when I was just after Daddy died. So I was about 15, 16.
Oh, your dad died early?
My dad died very early, 40 years ago. Do the math.
You know, do you want to hear something funny? My dad died exactly 40 years ago last month.
Oh, Daddy was January, 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
May they continue to rest in peace.
Yes. So mommy, how is mommy? Oh, hold on.
Mommy passed
Mommy
away
passed
just
earlier this
March.
year. Oh my God.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right.
I am sorry.
Don't be,
I
don't be.
remember.
Don't be.
I know you have a lot of sisters, all over, and brothers.
Is the right person you're interviewing?
Tell me.
I have two brothers. Well, 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay, so that's a lot of sisters and brothers.
Okay. 2 of whom I only came to know in January.
Oh, is that right?
Right before Mommy went.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why I had to think about that.
Okay.
We grew up being 2 brothers and 1 sister, and then just before Mommy passed away, we were introduced to another brother and another sister.
Okay. Dr. Sue, you are the premier cultural artist down here in southern Florida. I mean, in terms of Jamaica, the Jamaican-ness, you know, and what got you there? What brought you into culture and art and drama, because you are that, and even poetry?
Right.
Yes.
It's been a journey, but it's something that evolved. I'm not sure it's something I really had set out to do, but even from an early age in Jamaica, as most of us Jamaicans, I'm sure, can attest, when I was growing up, we weren't allowed to talk patois and that kind of thing. And so having heard Miss Lou, and I had the pleasure of, one, going on Ring Ding once.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Not as a vocal or a lyricist, but as a dancer. And then and then I also had the opportunity to meet her.
Okay.
And she, for me, was just the epitome of everything that I just wanted to be. When I was growing up, I tell people all the time, I guess I still am, but I grew up pleasantly plump. And, you know, to see Miss Lou as this mother figure who, you know, she was everything. Journalist, writer, broadcaster, actress, everything. And I used to just enjoy, like, how can this one person just embody all this? And she was just life, you know, and having met her, I realized how much, you know, she loved children. So she was the person I really looked up to. And fast forward to leaving, I left Jamaica, went to New York. I finished high school in New York, by the way.
Okay.
And
You're all over the place.
I'm diversity at its best. And then after high school and a couple of years in New York, I went back to London.
Okay.
And so when I went to London is really when this whole thing of getting into the poetry and writing started. I went there and I had cousins, Leo, who had never been to Jamaica. And they was talking patois better than you are. And I thought, something not right here. And so I got into it, but I found at that time, this was in the early 80s, the Jamaicans, especially the first generation and second generation Jamaicans, they wanted to identify themselves apart from the other Caribbean islands, I guess. So they always embraced their patois.
Right.
And man, just listening to these people talk it, I'm like, no, they're not going to talk it better than me. I might not have been able to speak it when I was in Jamaica, but now me, I'm going to start talking.
Isn't it funny? When you grew up in Jamaica in certain communities, they will the parents tell you not to speak patois, it's bad, you know? And when I actually went back, after I left there for a few years, and I went back and I saw how the tone had been accepted among the you know, in TV and on radio and stuff. I was shocked, because you know, leaving Jamaica, when I left Jamaica, nobody spoke patois on radio or on TV, but I got back, Jenny was big time, you know, it was really nice. So to hear you say that people in London speaking patois, it's really funny. That's really good.
Yes, it was. And so while I was there, I got into the arts. I started out outside of getting there. I got right into the arts. I was an arts administrator for this cultural arts center, and then I started to get into acting and did some training in that area. Got my then coveted equity card.
What's an
which
equity
is
card?
Equity card is you have the equity is a union for performers, the actors' equity.
Oh, it's like a.
And so it's like a guild. And once I did that, I was able to do a lot of acting, French theater, and I was doing, you know, I did some West End and just all over the place. It was really, I was really into the arts then, and that's when I started writing, because then I was doing a lot of Miss Lou work. So I used to be invited out to do performances and do Miss Lou pieces, and then from that people started saying, why don't you write your own stuff, you know? And so I started writing my own stuff. So I would perform my thing and Miss Lou thing and my thing and Miss Lou thing until here we are today.
You're all into your thing.
Yes. So people in London know me as an artist. They know me as the actress, they know me as the poet, they know me as the writer. And then I moved here in '96,
Oh, you moved to Florida?
I moved to Florida.
From where?
From London.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes, I moved here, and
I've never seen anybody travel so much in my life.
still traveling. And when I moved here, of course, in Florida, theater and stuff just didn't seem to have been happening. I did try. Yeah. And so I had always had a craving for academics and teaching. I did 2 degrees in London, and then I came back here and got back into. So the people here, up until now, really know me as an academic. Because then I went and I did my terminal degree and I started teaching and became professor. So here, until about 2 years ago, they really knew me as an academic. But then, you know, God blessed me and I was able to retire from full-time teaching. And so now I'm living my passion.
Listen, stop using the term retire, because, I mean, nobody can look by you and say, you're retired. So just say, you know, you transfer, you transform it to something else.
But retirement these days take on a different connotation than it did years ago. You know, people were in a job for life, and so retirement for them was when they're done and that's it, and them just let it. No, no, just education came out of full-time education. I still do adjuncting, I still teach part-time, but at least it allows me enough time now to do the things that I'm passionate about, which is serving the community, doing my arts and entertainment.
And I have experienced working with Dr. Sue, a very passionate lady about education and culture. We've done a few education initiatives to Jamaica together.
Oh, yes.
Right? And, but I know that you've worked very closely with the Jamaicans in Jamaica, and some of the acts you've performed. There were some of the places that you've performed in Jamaica.
I can't even remember. King's House, Jamaica House, Devon House, different schools, different places. One of the things though that I'm most recently, last month in September, Miss Lou's birthday. By the way, people, Miss Lou is going to be 100, would have been 100. Her birth date is going to be 100 next year. Oh. So on her 99th birthday, which was September 7th, I was invited down by the Louise Bennett Primary School to come down and be part of them. So I spent this in Gordon Town where Miss Lou lived. And that's where her statue is erected. So they had the unveiling on that day. I mean, it was powerful. I was sitting there in the VIP section among all these theater greats from Jamaica. I had Leonie Forbes on one side. There was Oliver Samuels. He was he was the MC, and you know, Blacka Ellis on the other side. Dion Silver, you name it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm Jamaican. I really felt like, you know, I was home. I was among them. So that was really good to be there and to really see this happen and unfold there. Again, because Miss Lou was primarily in charge. I didn't say, but at the time when I met her, I had one when I was about 11 or 12, and I had won an island-wide essay competition. And part of the prize for that was to go to Jamaica House for a luncheon. So at Jamaica House, of course, all these children, first, second, and third place from the island, each parish had a first place and a place. So we had all these children, but then you have all these dignitaries and stuff, and Miss Lou was there. And while everybody else was running to meet Governor General and Prime Minister, all I wanted to meet was Miss Lou. So I just took my way and I went and I found her and I went up to her, and I can't forget. She looked down at me and she said, Putus, and she pinched my cheek and she said, Putus, never stop writing. That's nice. And I think that really inspired me. So even though I had never thought that I would have authored a book, I've always written and just write and just put things down. And if people ask me to do something for them, be it for a wedding, whatever, I'm always writing specifically for that occasion.
I'm going to put this lady on the spot, and I hope she's ready. She's supposed to be ready at all times anyway. So I know that she has a book here. I don't know if it's out in the audience or she has it next to her. But I want her to perform one of them pato thing for us, right? right? Don't you agree? We
Yes.
can, yes? Yes, okay, so, all right. I'm gonna put her up on the spot, you're ready.
And all right. What I was looking at a while ago, I was going through it. I haven't done it for a while, but everybody can relate to this. We flag. Black, green, and gold. I saw it big, bad, and bold. Jam down flat and the best. Cause like we people, it stand out from the rest. We never conform and take on no part of the red. We create we own, yeah, so we dread. Black represent with strength and creativity. Athletes, musicians, academics, enough levity. Green, green are we hope, are we agricultural resources, fruits and vegetables from all kind of sources. Gold are we natural wealth, and we beautiful sunlight. All in all, we flag just dynamite. Black, green, gold, Jamaica in the control. I am Jamaica.
Oh, that's what's the name of the book?
The name of the book is I Am Jamaica.
Oh.
And it's available on Amazon, people, or at my website, which is drsueandyou.net. Dr. Sue and DrSueandyou.net.
So I thought you had another book. Didn't you have another book too?
This is my second book.
Oh, this is the second book.
This is the second book.
Okay.
My first book was called, or is called, Ode to Miss Lou, from the soul of Dr. Sue.
Yes.
So that too is available on the website.
About 4 years ago we had, or 3 years ago there was we had an initiative. I don't remember what initiative we had, and she had pledged that she would give us 20% off of the sale of Ode to Miss Lou, right? And I remember her presenting a check to the task force. Very nice, thanks, very nice gesture. Thank you for that.
Well, one of the things I do have a charity, the Dr. Sue Charitable Foundation. So things like the books that I produce and the sale from them, that money feeds into the charity, and I use that to help, because my tagline on that is there for those who are there for others. So I use the funds to help organizations and other charities that need to reach out.
What's in the horizon for Dr. Sue, for Simply Susan? Oh wait, I mean for Dr. Davis.
Okay, Dr. Davis is the academic, and yes, that's what I teach. My students call me Dr. Davis. Dr. Sue is the artist,
Yes.
the entrepreneur.
You want to go on fufu?
No, Susan.
Oh, Susan is
Susan
fufu.
go on.
Okay, all right.
And then simply Susan. Susan, that's me, friends, family, down to earth, humility, that's it, I'm in the right now, we spoke earlier about the fact that we used to present together on Saturday morning fix.
Yes.
And you actually wondered why I had stopped.
Let me tell you, let me ask the people, let me ask you. We did the Saturday morning fix for 2 years, or a year and a half, or something like that. We were having fun, and all of a sudden, she gone. We don't know, so you can't answer now.
It's not that I'm gone, there's a pause. So often you have to pause. Life throw you these things, and as we alluded to earlier, my mom passed away in March, and so now I'm having to be living my new norm. And in part of that is I'm writing another book, and that book is based around her life, and it's an instructional book for people, just telling them. It's called Living a Hip Life.
Poetry or?
It's not poetry. It's an instructional book about her faith, how she lived, and what we as people need to do to make ourselves ready and just reaching out to those around us. And one of the things that happened when Mommy passed, my siblings and I found that as much as we love her and missed her, she had done so much to prepare us for this time without us even realizing it. That everything was executed so easily, which took away some of the pain that could have been there in losing her. And I just felt I needed to share this with the public and to say it can happen. And if you love those around you enough, make it happen. So that's what the book, it's called Living a Hip Life.
Okay.
Hip being humble, intentional, and prepared.
One last question for you. The words out of many one people.
Mhm.
What does that mean to you?
We are one, as I said, diversity. um, we all have one goal. We have a pride for our Jamaican home, a national pride. But within that, we are made up of so many different parts, so many different heritages that make up Jamaica. I mean, but we are one because we are Jamaicans. Whether we are Chinese Jamaican, Indian Jamaican, Maroon Jamaican, Ghanaian Jamaican, whatever we are, whatever we want to tag ourselves to. We are one as a people, and that's it. Out of many, one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr.
I
Sue.
am
Yes.
Jamaica.
Thank you very much. She
You're
says,
welcome,
I
sir.
am Jamaica. Thank you, Dr. Sue.
You're
And
welcome.
we're wrapping up now. And do you have the last word for your audience?
Audience, just love your heritage. Talk to your children. That's the main thing. One of the things out there about children. We need to keep our heritage going. That's what kept us alive. Tell them about your stories. Tell them about growing up. Don't shy away from it because it makes us who we are today. And that's my biggest thing. Love God, love life, and be bold. Be bold in being who you are.
Leo Gilling with Dr. Sue, Simply Susan, Dr. Davis, today on Leo Gilling Live, right here at Moment to Remember, 7768 Northwest, 44th Street in Sunrise. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again sometime soon, later.
Yes.
Thank you, Sue.